Every Wednesday for almost 2 decades, Tony Valk was a constant on News Channel 11.
Yeah, viewers made an appointment on the noon show in front of their TVs to hear his great advice about gardening and landscaping. But nearly 2 years ago, he walked away from that. What many of you did not know is that he was in the midst of a real fight for his life, and today he's winning that fight.
That is wonderful news. But Nate Morabito found out he wouldn't be here today without people donating blood.
Time for some Valk talk. Tony Valk, Evergreen of Johnson City, is here.
December 18th, 2013.
But I know you're always watching the forecast. And
a week before Christmas, a still smiling Tony Valk made his last Valk Talk appearance on News Channel 11 at noon. The end of an 18-year tradition.
Good reminders as always, Tony.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you being here.
What we didn't know at the time was that for the previous 3 years, he had battled a chronic form of leukemia, one that was becoming more and more serious and needed immediate attention.
It was pretty daunting, intimidating, fearful journey ahead of me, just with the leukemia and the blood cancer I was facing. I remember being in there thinking, I'm not going to be back.
In the weeks that followed, Valk headed to Texas in hopes a bone marrow transplant would save his life.
There's no sign of any disease present.
And it did. But he would have never made it to this point if it weren't for dozens of other donors.
I'm a blessed man. And a lot of it is because there were people there.
In the years leading up to that transplant, he constantly needed blood transfusions. And thankfully, he never had to wait for one.
Whenever I needed those dozens of units over the course of a period of time, it was wonderful to know they're there.
In all, he received an estimated 30 to 50 pints, the equivalent of an entire blood drive.
I would not be living had that blood supply not been there. It's just a fact.
Today, there are others just like him whose lives depend on that constant blood supply, too.
We all know of blood being needed in the cases of terrible accidents, trauma, things like that. But most blood is used in the treatment of diseases such as leukemia.
Valk is now using his experience to encourage others to donate blood, just like he did multiple times a year for 2 decades, back when he was healthy. The universe has since repaid him.
Who would have known that I would be one that would need that steady need, ultimately.
Who would have thought he'd ever step foot in our studio again?
All right, Tony, let's walk in.
20 months after leaving with some serious doubts, he returned.
It has changed. Of course, things do.
Beaming with joy and gratitude.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
In recent months, his family's taken the vacation of a lifetime, and his sons graduated from college.
My oldest daughter is getting married in 2 weeks.
All examples of precious life moments he might have missed if 30 to 50 others hadn't opened up their hearts and given a little of themselves.
All we want is, and pray for, is that we don't have a resurgence of the cancer,
We hope for that, too.
Yeah, we hope for that, and that's as of 20 months plus or minus. That's been the case.
Nate Morabito, News Channel 11, in your corner.
Now, if Tony Valk's story inspired you to donate, we're in your corner with a way you can give back. The News Channel 11 American Red Cross 9th Annual Battle of the Badges continues through September 11th. Several answer the call for donors during a drive at the Johnson City Municipal Building at 601 East Main Street. Now, the goal of the blood drive is to increase the blood supply, educate the public about blood donation, and honor our first responders.
And we invite you to join the campaign. News Channel 11 and Friends of Old Downtown will host a blood drive during the First Friday celebration in downtown Johnson City. And we will have some surprises for those of you who come down to donate. So make plans to join us. The drive kicks off at 3 and continues to 7:30. And again, that is in downtown Johnson City. It is so good to see Tony Valk doing so great.
Yes, we both got to work with him on the new newscast.
Yeah.
So much fun.
And his daughter's getting married, which is blowing my mind because I kind of remember when she was born. But anyway, moving on.